Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not even bothered.
What happened?
The printer, I tried to print the thing without the paper on it, so then I tried to reset it to let it connect, and then it's just like, we lost the wireless connection, so that is a problem for later.
Okay.
That's a problem for later, Lynn. Not right now, Lynn. Hi. How is everybody? The cat is literally saying hello. Hello? Yeah, you telling everybody hello? But he really wants our treats, but that's okay. We will get there. Good morning. Can you hear me? Is everything showing up okay? Hello? Oh, hello. The boy child screams. Good morning, Toulouse. Yes, it is good morning for Toulouse. Where's my snacks? I pressed the snack button and I have not received it. And I said, I have stuff to do, baby. And then he started yowling. So, here we are. Yeah, I tried to print something, but I had taken all the paper out of the printer to put it in something else, and I forgot to reload the printer, and now it's just like, we can't connect to the Wi-Fi. Just that should not be the problem. The Wi-Fi was never the issue. What do I got for a roll today? Let's see. Oh, it's almost a full house. I got 2 and a 6. I wonder. Nah, we'll leave it 6. That's fine. I like the bigger number. We are good. I'm glad we're good. I think I'm okay. I simply refuse to be bothered. How's that? I am refusing to be bothered. So, we're just gonna wing it with the phone. Let me download this so I don't dox myself on Discord. Hang on 1 second.
Volume get turned up, or are you just that quiet?
Am I that quiet? I don't know. I unplugged it. Is it turned on? Oh, no, it's not turned on. There you go. Mercury retrograde, and it's all me. I am Mercury retrograde this week.
I guess you're just that quiet.
Oh.
Or this has gotten louder? I don't know, but the music's way too loud.
Oh, okay. I am Mercury retrograde now. I'm fighting the printer. Yeah. But it's so unrelated. I just emptied out the printer with the paper. I just needed paper for I just needed this paper, in fact. It was this freaking paper. And I forgot to refill it, and now it's like, we've lost the internet connection to wirelessly connect to the computer to print. Okay. You know how non sequitur that sounds, right? But what do I know? So, I can't print it, so we're gonna just kind of wing it off of the... I'll deal with it before next week. And we're just gonna kind of wing it off of the phone chart this week instead. Whatever. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. You're fine. How has the week been? The week was kind of a lot, but... Oops. That was me too. Man. I'm just out for chaos today, unintentionally. The week was a lot. This weekend was supposed to be... The vibes this weekend, at least stars-wise seemed very nice. I had a lovely evening last night. D&D weekend. It went interesting, but overall it was good. Oh, what are we doing? Ah, I'm a mumble mouth. Hello.
Yeah, you peak at like 30. I peak at -10.
I am a quiet one. And you would think, with all of my Mercury placements, I would not be. And yet. Yeah, that is fun. What'd y'all do? It wasn't a total party kill, I assume? What Lady Lapine doesn't realize is if I speak quietly, perhaps it will help my voice. Just kind of across the board. Toulouse does not realize this either. Sir? Yeah, weekends. Yeah, we went to a little goodbye summer bonfire that a friend of ours was doing. We didn't cook anything over the fire, but we brought something we either wanted to let go of or kind of bring into this world or something like that. And threw it in the fire at some point, and she baked us all a bunch of little mini cheese pizzas. It was a lot of fun. Toulouse cam? He moves a lot for that, though. I'd be like a Toulouse drone. He's just in the hallway. He's decided that it is the singing hour. About 10 hours or 12 hours too early. Hello? So y'all just get to hang out with him with me too. I opened the door. Uh-huh. Yeah, it was good. We got around the bonfire and I desperately wanted like the roasted marshmallows and the you know, the fire cooked either hot dogs or sausages or something, but you know, that's alright. It was good. Fire for a fire's sake. And we said we had fun, and she was just like, and we said we had fun, and she's like, well, nothing's stopping me from doing it again next week, so maybe we'll do another one this Saturday. I don't know. That was all we had yesterday, and today all I have is this, which is desperately, desperately needed, so. I've been, getting together tax documents this morning, because the notes actually came together fairly quickly. So we'll see how it goes. But there wasn't, I mean, like there's, Jupiter goes direct on Wednesday or Thursday, depending on where you are, so you might be feeling that a lot this week, but that's like not, I mean, it's good, it's very good, but it's not like the Neptune and Saturn conjunction and then the new moon and stuff like that. If anything, I think I called it like the pieces are starting to fall into place and you can start seeing some of the picture. Yeah, I just kind of put it off until things cleared out last month. I was like, because normally I do it like the second I get all of my documents in. But this year I was just like, you know what? I'll just do it on one of my free weeks. I'll have time. So I'm going to try to do it this week and just get it out of the way. Apparently down here they just take a default amount, and unless you run your own business you really just don't even have to file. Very nice. So I was asking my manager for the English school that I do, and she was like, yeah, just you don't have to do anything. I don't make enough to have to do anything, so you definitely don't have to make enough to do anything, so that's cool. I know that if and when Briar moves her business down here, we'll have to file those taxes, but that should be about it. Term is until the 25th of May. Yes, ours is April something. I was just kind of... I realized I would have had all the documents put together last month, ish, and I was just like, well, I'm just gonna ride this month out. It's a redacted copy of their tax form. I mean, what are they gonna do about it? Their budget's been gutted. But I can't advocate for anything one way or the other on the internet right now. I do have opinions, though. I will say that I, personally, like, with my recent career upheaval, I'm a little bit stressed out about things, but, like, there's also a part of me that's like, ah, yes, my, boycott of the US tax system is complete. I did not want my money to go to some of those projects anyway, so. That's it. April 15th? Okay. Yeah, I never worry about it because I usually do it like January 3rd. But this year I was just like, I'm not gonna bother. So I figured that was one less stress that I needed to deal with. So anyway. Alrighty. This week seems like a good week to do it. It's a good week as any. So alright, we got 5 watching. Tax talk is not fun. Let's get going. I don't have any specific art to work on, so if anything particularly seems like it has the potential to be inspiring, I am all ears. I've already had IRS issues I didn't want to risk. There was something one year when I went with you, we were still going to H&R Block to get your taxes done. There was something that one of the women who did your taxes one year, I was real little, but one of the women called the IRS something, like a different acronym, and it was something about a lack of responsibility, and I don't remember what it was. I just remember at the time I thought it was very good. Do you remember what that was? Because it lives like rent-free in my head. Steph? Oh, well, if you don't remember, that's fine, but maybe you will. I remember you left. I was like 6 or 7. I don't know. Maybe a little bit older. But anyway, it seems apt. Can y'all see the incense swirls? Because it is just dropping straight down. This is... I don't, but I kind of remember the scenario. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So we can see Miss May's little incense burner in action. Let me pull it down because we were talking about it earlier. Let's see. Here we go. This is the smokestack. A little chimney. And it just comes out of the top. As long as you remember it too, and I'm not just going crazy, then we're good. I can live with that. If you get an epiphany though and remember what it was, you'll have to let me know. Anyway. So, yeah, isn't it cute? So, if anybody has any like one sentence prompts that might be interesting, and no ash everywhere. No, it gets caught in the little grate at the bottom, then you just pop the... I can't show you right now because there's literally on fire incense, right? But it gets caught in the little grate at the bottom and you just pop the stove off of the little... The feet have a little tray under it, then you just clean that out. Excuse me. I need to clean out the other incense burner in the other room, but that's fine. Just speaking of ash everywhere. Haha. Anyway. No planned art right now. I did the Love Rat Clown that was my first idea. It's incompetent. Okay. Did the Love Rat Clown, and then I am fresh out of ideas, so if anyone has any fun little, like, one sentence prompts, feel free to drop it in. Maybe one will inspire me. If not, that's fine. We can figure something out. But in the meantime, we will go ahead get the ball rolling. Well, 20 minutes now, so let's LFG gamers. Use cool. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember much. I just remember that it was funny, whatever it was. Glorbo, Florbo. Something Ditto adjacent. Something Ditto adjacent is definitely what comes to mind with Glorbo, Florbo Doji. Except he's kind of green. So I think I'm just making a green slime monster. But. Okay. So, we have. I'm sat and ready to listen. Hello. Hi, Sen. Good to see you. I guess if we're gonna do this, then I can do it this way. So my printer, I pulled a self-inflicted Mercury retrograde, and I don't have my paper. So we're just gonna wing it on the phone today, because I am too unbothered. So we're gonna pull up the transit chart, and I guess this way we can kind of do it day by day, which is cool. It's not how I wanted to do it, but we'll do it this way, that's fine. That's horoscopes. I want today's transits, please. Transit chart, here we go. Also, I showed Sin, but I haven't, like, put my nails on hyper display yet. Like, look at this gradient that she did. It's a week or two ago now. I love it. Phonetically the same, so it sounds like a weird Slavic guy. I could see that too. I think for that though, I would need more like a it needs to have one of the like last name suffixes that are in Russian. The vich or the ov or something at the end. Ski if we're feeling frisky. Feeling frisky after ski. Oh well. No, this doesn't want to work. Come on, bud. Please. Pretty please. I was so excited. I was all together this morning. Everything really nicely. I had my notes done with like 30 minutes to spare instead of -5 minutes to spare. And I was like, cool, it's time to print the thing. And it's time to get everything together. And this is where we're at. Pretty please. Come on, Usher Seat. You did it for me earlier. Current transits. Metallic tiger eye thing done to my house. Yeah, I love those. Current planets. Maybe if we go at it this way. Haha, got it. Let me see. Okay. Alright. So at this very moment, we have a grand water trine between our girl the moon, who be doing things, connecting to Jupiter, connecting to Mercury retrograde. Now, you won't be feeling the peak of this. So also the let me see. No. I thought it was on the north node, but it's not anymore so much. Anyway, so we have it exact right now. This retrograde and this retrograde are exact, connecting 15 degrees of Cancer, 15 degrees of Pisces, and they are softly trining our speedy girl, the moon. That will be done before the end of the day, the moon's aspects to it. But we'll be feeling this one too with Mercury and Jupiter into tomorrow for like another day or two. Happy International Women's Day. Yes, there was a big festival happening yesterday on the bus for it when I was driving past this little city. Happy International Women's Day, everybody. So, I have this nice little grand trine right now. It will pass before the end of the day, but I wanted to talk about this Jupiter and and Mercury trine. We will get to that for the thing tomorrow. But it looks real pretty with the moon right there. But the moon do be doing things, so she will be out of the picture by tomorrow. It just seems like a good moment for emotional clarity relating to Jupiter and mercurial aspects at this present time. Maybe that's part of why I simply will not be bothered. Maybe I just have the emotional moon clarity from everything happening of just it's just the Mercury retrograde. That's fine. Anyway, today we have our sweet baby girl Venus conjuncting Saturn. She's still a little bit conjunct Neptune. We talked about that, I think, last week. Just the dreamy aspect to things. You'll be feeling like both of these planets impacting Venus for a couple of days. But yeah, Neptune and Venus, it's passing a little bit now that Venus is charging and getting conjunct with Saturn right now. But just the dreamier aspect of things, a little bit illusionary, daydreamy, lofty goals kind of things, related to Venusian topics. So love, abundance, etc., etc. She's the lesser benefic. The bigger benefic is Jupiter. So expansion and whatnot. But Venus does also control those kinds of things. So today she is, and you'll still be feeling Neptune right there for a little bit, but it is waning. Today Saturn and Venus go exact. I believe the exact for Neptune and Venus was yesterday or Friday night. So this conjunction will last a few days. Venus is one of the faster planets, but Saturn and Neptune are in no hurry, so they just kind of let her overtake them, and that takes time versus just, immediately transporting ahead of them. So, you'll you'll be feeling this for a few days. You'll still be feeling the Neptune thing, but the Venus and Saturn part will kind of put a pause in Venusian themes for a few days. And honestly, I wrote in my notes this feels like a pretty good pre-game for the week ahead. You'll feel a bit of a pause. Nothing bad. It's Venus. Venus and Saturn, they play fine. But you'll feel that pause for Venusian themes for personal relationships, your little abundance, things of that ilk. And what Saturn is doing with that pause is kind of just to check in, make sure you're on the right track, right? With Saturn and Venus though, because Saturn is your vaguely strict grandfather. He's fine. Saturn's fine. But with Venus, he might maybe she's a little intimidated by it, or maybe if you're doing something a little bit reckless or what have you, it might be just a little bit more of a serious conversation. And if you're doing fine, it might just be just a quick hi, hello, check in, make sure you've got a plan for what you're doing, right? So things with Saturn, it might feel a little bit more serious right now with the relationship and the abundance and the whatnot front, particularly for relationships. But as long as you're not self-sabotaging or anything, it's just serious. It's not grim, right? Now, if you need the check, Saturn will give you the check. But if you're doing what you need to be doing, it's just kind of, the levity is going to be gone for a minute, but it shouldn't be anything too bad. Now, this transit possibly will make you irritable. Can cause a bit of an uptick in responsibilities at work, at home, things like that. I read particularly this can affect women since Venus is more feminine skewed. But with this, that sounds a little bit frustrating, but it also can help self-control and responsibility, self-discipline, things like that. Now, with Venus and Neptune conjunct, it was oh, maybe I'll get myself a little treat. Maybe I'll, do something sweet for myself. Maybe I will do something sweet for someone else. With Saturn coming into play now, that puts that to a screeching halt. If you budget your money and you have your little treat budget, do not go over that budget, right? Don't for the next few days. Just don't do anything too reckless with money. Don't do anything too reckless with your relationships. Don't try to overindulge. Like I said, if you've got your little treat budget and you find a little treat you want, go get your little treat. But if you are over budget or you can't afford it, don't do it right now, right? Now, like I said, this transit can be a little bit frustrating if you're not in the mood to be too serious about things. But ultimately, I think this is a really nice setup for what we see coming further in the week. There was something I read, it was, quote, focus on quality time with loved ones, even if it has to be a serious conversation. So, Sin says, oh, did you get yourself a little treat already, my dear? I'm sure if you can justify it in some little way, Saturn will be okay with it. Just be careful. So, focus on your quality time with your loved ones, even if it has to be the serious conversation. That sounds targeted. If it sounds targeted, then Saturn is absolutely targeting you stuff. This is just kind of in general. I felt like compulsively buying something, like a subscription to something, just a little while ago, and then I read that and I went, well, that's my sign to hold off, right? Like, if it comes down to it that I need it, I will buy it. If not, then I will wait. Then, bookmark your little treat and see how you feel about it in a day or two. I'm not saying don't get it, I'm just saying, like, wait and, like, chew on it before you make a move. Unless it's a lovely lunch or a dinner or something, in which case I say, I mean, as long as it's not an $80 steak, go for it. Basically, if you know you need it, whatever it is, even if it feels indulgent, you trust that there's a reason for it, right? When I got my birth chart read a few months back, and the guy was like, you are very frugal, very, like, just going over the things, like, he wasn't saying it in these words verbatim, but basically, like, whatever the point he was making boiled down to, like, if there is something, there's a difference between, like, want and intuition kind of thing, right? Like, there is a certain amount of trust that the universe, like, wants you to enjoy your life. And his example was, like, if I have a bill that's $80 due tomorrow for, I don't know, something, but I want a steak dinner that is $80, there's a difference between just I want it and, like, I want it. And if it's the second, then it might just end up being that the universe, like, planned and accounted for it, right? And then that $80 that you need might come from somewhere else that you didn't see coming. That does not mean go chase every little single whim. There is, and I know this very well within myself, there is a very stark difference between an at-present whim and that deep, this is okay kind of want, right? So just use your discernment. If it feels like it might be one of those at-present whims, hold off for, like, just a day or two, see where you're at, and then go from there. And if it is one of those deep, actually, no, this is going to be fine, I don't know how I know, but I just know, then go for it, whatever it is, right? Like, especially with Saturn right here. Like, if you still feel that with Saturn right there, that might just be good old grandpa just giving you a thumbs up with whatever it is, right? Like, just be sure you assess it, whatever it might be. Right? Like, if you're not second guessing whatever that is, then that's Saturn's cue, right? That's Venus saying, I think they want this, and Saturn going, okie dokie. So, be careful with your little treats, but if you feel that, that's fine, right? Obviously, don't bankrupt yourself, but I trust your judgment. Okay, so that's today. And especially, like, if you're feeling like it feels good right now with the moon trining here, like, I would, maybe, it's definitely worth at least really chewing on and considering doing it. Okay, so that's today. You'll have to tell me what your little treat is, son. I'm very curious. And I'll get back to your messages. I've been running around this week. Usually I wait months before spending money, so I think I'll be fine just accounting. Yeah. I mean, your birthday is coming up. Like, all good grandpas want you to have a birthday present. Any grandpa worth his salt would want you to have a birthday present. So I can't imagine that this is not being accounted for by the cosmos. So, I think you're good. Whatever. Woof. I think you're good. I'm just knocking down Lapine stuff. She's gonna kick me off of her streams before soon, I swear. I swear, it's awful. Anyway. So, that is today. We will be feeling that. You can see here. Tomorrow, we'll still, 1, 2, 3, nice. It'll still be, like, Venus will be taking ahead, but you'll still be feeling, like, the after effects of it, right? The aftermath. You'll be feeling or Neptune's influence less and less, but you'll still be feeling Saturn's pretty well. Now, what do we have here? We have this lovely sextile going on right here. And I think we talk about it more for Tuesday, but you can see it going exact with that thickening line right here. This is Pluto, this is Saturn, this is a sextile forming. No, excuse me. This is Pluto, this is Venus, this is a sextile forming. Right now, for tomorrow, this is at 3 degrees, this is 4 degrees, so it's not exact, but it is forming and it is getting strong. We'll talk about that for Tuesday. For Monday, we have, the moon be doing her thing, so I was not keeping track. This is an opposite for Uranus and Taurus. Scorpio, tear it all down versus keep it. I'm not going to worry too much about the moon. This is going to be just a couple hours, but like if you feel a bit of a chaotic point here, that tomorrow that might be this going on. Wherever Taurus is in your chart and wherever the moon is in your chart, wherever you have Scorpio and stuff. This is pretty exact. It'll last for a couple of hours. Anyway, so for Monday, we have this lovely little trine going pretty. It's been exact. It was exact. It's a little bit exact. A little bit exact today. It's exact today. You'll still be feeling it tomorrow. This is Mercury retrograde, trining Jupiter retrograde. Again, this feels like a really nice next step for Jupiter going direct later this week. Excuse me. What we have is an up in good judgment, seeing the forest even through all the trees. You're not getting lost in the weeds. And I do enjoy my enablers here. I say enable responsibly. If you need me to tap into old Lynn, old penny pension, make it scream Lynn, like, they're still there. They're still absolutely there. But I'm trying to let go and try to let myself live a little bit. Anyway. Mercury retrograde, trine Jupiter retrograde-ish. We'll talk about that in a minute. It's good judgment, taking in a full picture. There's an uptick in speculative thought, positive thinking, and an interest in learning and teaching per the calendar that I look at. Now, these two are both still in retrograde, so it might be more of a second chance kind of feeling versus a whole new thing in and of itself, right? Like you might be revisiting something and go, oh, if I look at it from this angle, I can do it this way instead, and this might be much more successful, right? So they're both still in retrograde. It's an opportunity for reconnection, which is already very Mercury retrograde themed. But I think if someone from the past comes like while this trine is happening here, it might not be just for the worst, right? Because normally when Mercury goes retrograde, it's like, oh, watch out for your exes coming back. Oh, watch out for these people coming back. I feel like if Jupiter and Mercury are trining, this person might actually be good. Now, this is not to say, like, again, use your better judgment. If you talk to somebody today who was the world's worst, who did nothing good for you ever, was no good, don't trust them again. But if it's something that just, like, feels right, give it a shot, right? I don't know except where my bed. I watched Grandma. Grandma was super frugal. And then my aunt can do a sale like nobody's business. I swear, if you give her the right coupon, she will go in and the store will pay her to take their things. So, I had some fairly good examples. And then I had some examples that I wasn't so keen on. So, I judged appropriately. Now I think I swung too far sometimes, but we're getting there. Each day's a little easier. Anyway, so with the retrograde trine, opportunity for reconnection, already Mercury retrograde theme, but with the benefic twist from Jupiter, right? So like if the world's worst person that hurt you the worst tries to come back, don't do it. But if it's just somebody or something that you're like, oh, actually, you know, like there was a chance for something out of whatever that was, like it might be worth it to at least consider. So, it's just another moment. We just had that big Kazemi with Mercury and the Sun, where the Sun, like, put the spotlight on, well, I'm not going to make that gesture, but, like, put the spotlight on Mercury, emphasizing all the mercurial traits. With the retrograde, it could have been a bit of a moment of clarity, or you could have just been, like, revisiting something, or what have you. Things might have made a little more sense. Could have had a brief cut through the fog, especially for the mercurial dominance. Hi, hello. But with this trine, that theme just kind of continues, right? Might be a little more resolution to something that's been bothering you, or a little room for some extra clarity. So, I said retrograde-ish for Jupiter, because around here, when a planet is coming out of retrograde, and when they're going into retrograde, we'll do a little chart. So, obviously, if you stop to pivot, you're still for a second, right? So, like, when I was doing this, I had to, like, stop the pen to, like, change my direction. I feel like for the next day or two, you're going to feel like Jupiter just kind of being stagnant as it makes that pivot to come out of retrograde. Especially around the time that this trine is happening. So you might have that insight, you might have that chance for connection. But also, like, with that stagnation here, you might feel a urge to retreat. You might experience some minor delays. So if you feel that connection, if you feel that clarity, and suddenly there's like a little hiccup, if it's not a bad hiccup, if it's not, oh, I'm just the same person I was, if it's not, oh, it's going to be the exact same situation, if it's just this is a glitch, this is like a Mercury retrograde kind of glitch kind of thing, it could just be that stationing still, that standing still period while Jupiter's in this transition period. You might feel while he's in this stationary period, you might feel like a bit of an urge to retreat. You might feel a bit introspective. You might have those little minor delays in wherever Jupiter is in your chart, and wherever Cancer is in your chart. Don't sign anything right now. We've got the Mercury retrograde, we've got Jupiter being still. Like, it could just be, without reading the fine print, don't sign anything, right? Just kind of sit with what surfaces, what you think of, what kind of things you have learned while Jupiter has been in retrograde. He went in retrograde in November. So if there's anything in the Cancer part of your chart, or like family related, or anything Cancer related that you've been kind of like stuck with, or feeling out, or how do I say? Like just chewing on since things have been in retrograde, right? Like Jupiter retrograde is not as bad as some other retrogrades, but still, like, the expansion stops. It kind of expansion from within, right? Not expansion outwards. So anything Cancer themed, the crab, not the illness. Anything where the Cancer is ruling in your chart, whatever house that is. If you've been experiencing some stagnation there, if you've been experiencing a lot of, like, thought without progress since November, especially, that's the Jupiter retrograde. You're having to kind of grow. So early this week, if you feel that stagnation, if you feel that urge to retreat, if you feel that introspectiveness, that could be That could be what's causing it, on top of Mercury retrograde too, right? So it's a time, a day or two, to just kind of sit there and think about what you've learned since November pertaining to those themes. And then he'll go direct on Wednesday. Now, we're going to talk about Tuesday first, though. I just wanted to warn you that you might be feeling that little bit of a crunch. We get to Tuesday here. We got our girl Venus. Venus and Pluto are sextiling. So, Pluto levels the fields, right? Upheaves, but sextiles are a nice positive thing. It's not quite the parade of all the personal planets through Pluto going conjunct. This is a sextile. They play pretty well together. They can work together. So this is Tuesday into Wednesday, a positive check from Pluto for Venus. There's room for intense interactions, but you will be speaking in depth and courageously. For the next few days, around now, maybe up until Thursday or Friday, obviously I would want you to continue, but my notes say be honest and give others time to process their own truths. Like if you say something, you know, if it needs to be said, that's fine, but be willing to like step back and let people process what it is that you said and like see how they feel about it. Around this time, a hidden fear can show up somewhere relating to relationships or abundance, something deep. Pluto does the deep digging. Venus is all about, you know, creature comforts. So if you're deep digging into creature comforts, you might find some kind of like, I don't know, trauma response that you have to something. You might find a way that you're like limiting yourself with whatever it may be, with your relationships, with your abundance, with whatever. Things of that nature. You might have some kind of realization about a fear or about a preconceived notion, anything Venusian themed. Pluto is going to be digging them up if you find any, so that you can face them head on right now, especially with Pluto being an Aquarius. Venus is an Aries now. This is fire and air. This is time. This is not reflection time. This is fix-it time, right? So time to fix it, time to look at it, time to at least address it and make steps towards fixing it. Fire and air signs, it's time to at least start working on dealing with it. Now, I will also add, because I wasn't seeing much about this, just thinking about mythological kind of things. Pluto, in Roman mythology, Hades and Greek mythology, also rule, like, they rule the underworld, but they also rule wealth. Because obviously, like, if you think about it, like, rationally, like, you find gold and gems and stuff out of the dirt, ergo, it's Pluto's domain. So, wealth, sextiling wealth, there is a pretty good opportunity for a financial strategy, right? So if you find something, if you get an inkling of something, like if that's what you're going after, go for it. Hey Mary, go for it. Especially because Wednesday. Do you like that I'm using my phone screen, Mary? Because the printer decided to have a temper tantrum, and I don't have it in me to fight with it. So on Wednesday, good old Wednesday into Thursday. I think it's early Wednesday, so it might be Wednesday for most people, actually. We have Jupiter finally going direct. Now, this is what this week has been like feeling like it's leading up to. It sounds like, you know, like you've had all week to kind of like get your affairs in order, and like anything that's left to like kind of address. And like this is kind of the theme for March, right? Like we've had tying up loose ends, but like this is the, if we had known last night. I think we kind of did, honestly. Like I feel like there was a lot of like releasing and getting ready for things. So with Jupiter going direct, will be in Cancer, so look at where Cancer is in your birth chart if you can. Think about Cancer themes just kind of in general, which is like you've got the mother, you've got the moon, you've got like family, home, nurturing, things of that ilk, like a feminine kind of presence. So wherever Cancer is in your chart too, whichever house that is, the themes of that house, you'll start to finally see some progress, right? Like if you've been feeling stagnant about something, I could have used your printer. I sure could have. We have ours. I just took some paper out of it the other day and I forgot to reload it. It's a very minor issue. I just need to like reset the connection or something. I forgot to reload the paper when I borrowed it and when I took it, what was in there to put back on here on my clipboard. And now it says that it's lost the internet connection to like communicate back and forth. So I just need to reset that. It's really not a big deal. It was just at 9:50 and I needed to go out in 10 minutes and I was like, I cannot fight with this right now. So it'll be fine. Everything's chill. It's just it was just funny timing. So we're just using the phone right now. Mercury's in retrograde. That's technology issues. Is it a self-inflicted technology issue? Yes, but it is still a technology issue. So while I am being my own Mercury retrograde, we are adjusting accordingly. And I just simply refuse to be bothered. So Wednesday, we have Mercury, Jupiter going direct, Cancerian themes. We have the house that it rules. Look to those. If you have been feeling stuck in those kinds of themes since about November, especially, like look back to November, think about the things that you've been dealing with. If you felt issues with like whatever house that is for you, or like with your family, with your relationships, with nurturing kind of themes, mothering themes, caregiving themes, that could be part of your issue. So it hasn't been the worst, but part of it has been frustrating, admittedly, right? Like it's not like Pluto going retrograde and wrecking everything, right? But it is still uncomfortable at times. All of the expansion goes inwards. There's a lot of like personal growth and personal realizations of things that you need. And that gets tense sometimes, right? And also, you're not seeing the progress at something that you think you need to be seeing, right? But this changes Wednesday. You'll start seeing things expanding. The way that maybe it'll even like be making up a little bit for the lost time. But what is that it said? I read something that said it was a bit of a push back into forward movement, right? Now remember, it might take a little while to get rolling because if you go one way and then you pivot, you have to stop for a second, right? You can let the inertia build up to get the ball really moving somewhere. So like don't freak out if you don't see immediate results, but things theoretically should start easing up in that Jupiter Cancer part of your chart. You can feel that internal focus shift back outward. You can feel a push towards progress where you felt stagnant in those areas. You might even feel a little bolder, a little more confident. General themes, include that you may be receiving clarity on family, home, emotional security. Things that have stalled out since November, that's about to change. This is more of that, like, March is overall themed has been, like, fog is lifting a little bit. So you might be having some more of that fog ease up. Things may start, but not necessarily finish, remember. Things may start falling into place. You might be able to finally start seeing the bigger picture. And there is room for expansion again. Now, while we're building up that inertia, remember to take baby steps. Don't just immediately start running, but like building up that rolling effect, right? So you start slow and then it just gets faster and faster, right? Get used to it. It's making for this day, I noticed it was making let me see. Still got that trine to Mercury, a light trine to the Sun. Sun being the core, everything like that. So it should be good. I think it'll be good. And then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, like, it's all fairly quiet. Like, honestly, like, I for one am living for a quiet week after the mess that it's been. Let me go through it and see. So this is Thursday. It's just feeling more of the same right here, right now. Lilith is up to some stuff. Lilith trining Lilith trining Venus. That's nice. We've got her squaring Mercury and the nodes a little bit, so that's a bit of a crunch. So Lilith is like the taboo, the shadow feminine, right? It's not nearly quite that bad, but like where you need to be bolder, where you're kind of insecure about things, a little bit like Chiron. But she just wants you to do what you want to do instead of what society tells you to do, right? We've got the moon doing moon things. We've still got the sextile here. This is Thursday. I, for one, I'm looking for kind of a quiet, nice week. Friday the 13th. Here we go. The sextile between Lilith and Venus goes exact. Lilith and Mars square goes exact. How would I say that? So this could be like a bit of a masculine and a feminine kind of duking it out a little bit, but I would say that since Lilith is in a fire sign and Mars is kind of fire dominant, but like tampered down by by being in Pisces, I think that would be okay. Maybe not comfortable, but just a little bit of a sauna instead of an actual explosion, right? Venus is more the standard feminine, so the feminines are playing nicely together. With them both being in fire signs, you might feel like getting a little bit adventurous about something. This is Friday the 13th. Very fun. Very fun. On the 13th, too. Love that. Saturday. Was there anything? The moon be doing things. This could feel a little bit upheaving. 29 degrees of Capricorn. This will be just a few hours, though, because the moon moves so quickly, but you might feel a bit of a upturn in something that you feel is stable. Just something a little bit chaotic. It's the second Friday. Yeah, because March just kind of repeats. So, like, whatever, since it's like 4 weeks exactly, or is it? Yeah, it's 4 weeks exactly. So then I've noticed that March just kind of repeats whatever February did. So a nice, quiet, nice weekend. Well, I'm not sure about the weekend itself, but like the second half of the week just feels like let's sit back and enjoy that Jupiter is out of retrograde. Right? Oh look, it's making a little star. Boop, 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 boop. Cute. So we have this. I'm noticing that, and this doesn't like go exact until later, but Saturn and Pluto are starting to sextile. I went ahead and I looked at that just because those two are so slow moving, we might be feeling it for a few weeks. This doesn't go exact until the 28th, so we'll talk about it more that week. But I did do just a quick check, since I know I tend to feel things like a day or two early, or if it's a slower thing, I'll notice it a week or two early. So you might start feeling this. This is a fire and the fire and the air sign again instead of the water and the earth signs. This is kind of a go do it kind of feeling. But this is the shake things to the foundation, and this is the foundation builder, right? So it's not a loud alignment particularly because they're not both outer planets, but Pluto's an outer planet. He's been kind of doing his thing earlier. I feel like he was louder when everything was going conjunct. But with him and Saturn kind of sextiling, it's a good idea to like kind of lay out some groundwork for some plan that you've been needing to do. And then if you've been planning something, you might be finally putting it into some kind of action. It might not be huge, at least not right away. Again, you have to kind of get the ball rolling to pick up speed, but you might be starting to move things into place now. And this is kind of just leading up into the astrological new year when the sun hits Aries, right? So all of this is kind of just building up to like March 20th when everything goes... Mercury's going to go direct. I think everything's going to be... Yeah. Everything's going to be direct except the nodes, which are usually in retrograde. So everything will be more or less direct. The astrological new year will be on the 20th. Mercury comes out of retrograde that same day. And this just feels like it's leading up into all systems go, green light, let's get ready. So, short week, easy week. Like I said, I just kind of sat down and I had my notes done with half an hour to spare. Very fun. That does not happen very often. I'm open for questions. I am all ears. And if you have any funny little sentences that might give me a picture idea, please feel free. Hi, buddy. If you sat up in this chair and posed, I might paint you. I don't think you will, but I would. I would. No, he's gonna go smell the closet instead. Anyway, that's this week in a nutshell. Quiet. Maybe not quiet, but like, it shouldn't be quite as overwhelming as the eclipse was. How did everybody fare last week with everything going on? Because I know that I was grumpy. I was so grumpy. It was my first free. I thought it was going to be freer than it was week, and then by Tuesday when I realized that I had things to do every single day that week, I was livid. I was so mad about it. So yeah, I've just been kind of grumpy this week. I think some of that might be the stars. Yes, I will say hi. Nope. He's laying on his back. He's flopped over. I would do Toulouse cam, but that would mess up poor Lady Lapine's camera, and I don't think she wants that right now. But he's very cute. I'll just have to take my word on it. Extremely cute. Wait, I have an idea. Hang on. I've got it. Give me 1 second. It's my cunning plan. Hold on. I promise it'll pay off. Okay. This is him right now. So, please enjoy. This is the best I can do for a live cat cam, but please enjoy. You've been irritable myself? Yep, I've been not doing great. I'm okay. Like, I realize that this too shall pass, right? But I've been irritable. But feeling alright. We'll be okay. Feeling like we can make it. Yeah, there he is. Right behind me. I would love for him to be curious and come say hello, but I also am kind of glad that he doesn't, so that we don't have him being nosy every single time we're trying to do something. Animation going wild. Yeah, we had to switch webcams. We got a really nice webcam that we were using for the face tracking, but then we realized that the art and the cards weren't showing, so we switched them around. So we had to switch them around back to where the older camera is the one that's face tracking, and it's not great. It's not great. It's a little bit haunted, but now the pictures are crisp. Now you can see things going on down here. So let's see what we got. What was that phrase you said, Doji? Glorbo, florbo? You know what that sounds like to me, actually? It's like one of those little Martians from Sesame Street. That's what that sounds like. I know you said it sounds like a... Next thermometer, in other words. Next thermometer is Bills. Next thermometer is Bills. next thermometer is, does anybody want some platonic sugar children? See what we got. What do we want to paint, guys? I'm out of ideas. I got everything, though. I don't feel like... And then Glorbo Florbo was a Sesame Street Martian. I mean, I guess I could paint the Sesame Street Martian. Martian. Yeah, the door is open. He knows. Paint fire. Yeah, I could do that. Okay. No, you're just looking. Do you have any ideas for an art? I could paint a Sesame Street Martian.
That's not a bad idea.
I could paint some fire. Slimy.
I want you to paint something that makes you happy. Paint a crow.
Paint a crow. There's a guy on Instagram that's painting extremely fat birds. It's very sweet. He does watercolor. He's been doing mostly North American birds. But it's been very fun. He does like speed paints. Or like, you know, hits the fast forward button on them actually. But yeah, they're just Fat Birds, the series. Fish, Glorbo, Florbo, fit something slimy. Hang on. You might be onto something. You might be onto something, Sen. You might have said some magic words. Let me see if I can think of something. That might be hard. I wonder. Birds look great in watercolor. Yes, they do. And fat birds look even better. Fat birds look so good. Huge fan of fat birds in watercolor. It was such a cute series. He'd like do it all seriously and stuff, and then when it was done, he'd zoom out on the bird, and like you knew it was going to be fat, but like to see how he executed it, because he was actually like putting in all of the details. Like honestly, putting in all of the details, it just was also extremely fat. Very good. 10 out of 10, no notes. Excellent choice. I do have an idea, I'm just trying to find something. Hold tight. I need a reference. I feel like I'm setting myself up for failure, but that's fine. We just gotta do it. Actually, hold on. I might be having a better idea. Keep having ideas. You want to ask me anything about stars while we're here, while I'm just kind of putzing? Let me see what they got. Here we go. I got it. I got something. Hold on. Having notions. Oh, well, fat. Yes. Yes, exactly, dear. Okay. Mm. Trying to get a good angle of things. Now pointing upside down. That's pretty. I promise this will be worth it, guys. Or at least I'll try to make it worth it. Just trying to find a good still frame. Okay. Always is. Thanks, I think. So you said slimy and water and Glorbo, and that all of it together just sounds like jellyfish to me. So I'll tip my cards. So I'm trying to find a nice still from one of the jellyfish live streams. And they're always so pretty, but when the still is wrong, they just look so tangled. And that's the plan. That's the whole plan right now. But well, I'm looking for a nice still. You can ask questions. Exactly, stuff. We had some jellyfish wash up on our beach the other day, and it reminded me of that. Wow, those are ding dang jellyfish. Okay, maybe something like this. We'll find out. Maybe not. Let's see what we got. Well, we got a cat that has the zoomies. I can tell you that much. Yeah, let's just go to the live and we'll see where we're at. What are we doing? Ooh, that's a mess. My perfectionism is showing. Hang on. Almost. We're getting somewhere, guys. Yeah, I think. Oops. Too far. This one? Yeah, this one. Gotta get this tooth out. If you've already done stuff to get that wheel in motion, I don't think that's a bad idea. If it was something new to do, just, it's not... Less don't sign anything and more just be aware of what it is that you're signing, right? That's usually how these things are. With the Mercury retrograde and stuff, right? Like, just kind of across the board. And besides, what day is that? Do you have it scheduled? Do you have something scheduled already? Like, I know you've known you needed it out for a while. But basically, when I say don't sign anything, I mean, like, read the fine print before you do. Good thinking. I don't know about what, but thank you. Is it reading fine print? Is it jellyfish being glorboflorbos? What are we thinking good about? This one's rounder. Okay. Well, once you get cleared, like, you already know it needs to be taken care of. That I don't think that quite counts. That's a little bit different. I would just make sure you read stuff and know what you're walking into before... Oh, thank you. Before, you sign anything too much. Let's see, this one's bottom. And this. And then he's got the top. Yeah, jellyfish. Where is Doji? We figured out what glorboflorbo is. Turns out it's not a weird Russian man. It's just a weird Russian jellyfish, I suppose. But, like, astrology's kind of like... And I think we've talked about this before, right? Like, astrology is like tarot. At the end of the day, it's a roadmap. If there's something you need to do that is needed, one, do it. Don't let this inhibit you. And then two, like, if powers that be are involved with it, just assume that they know that that's what you actually need and are willing to accommodate for it, right? Also, a little bit fiery. So I'm hitting all of these things, right? These ones that I'm working on right now, they're orange, fiery. So I've got everybody's ideas included. Wow. I feel so smart. Let's see, his little cloudy bits are going this way. Right. Like, if you're gonna get powers that be involved, like, if it's an emergency, they're going to understand. This guy looks like a little fire. Here we go. I did it. Jellyfish, fire, glorboflorbo, march, slimy fish. Group effort. Big stretch. Any insight for anybody on what Jupiter going direct's gonna do? Because I would love to hear some good news about that kind of stuff right now. I know that I've got some friends who just bought a house and they're closing on it. Which feels very correct. Calcifer jellies. Oh, it's the Monterey Bay live cam stuff. So they're just the little orangey pink jellyfish, whatever they are. Which, yeah, I guess that's a long-winded way of saying, yeah, you're right. But tendrils this way, some cloudy bits. I'm gonna skip those ones. A little group of 3 right here-ish. But I was like trying to find a nice angle. Because they're so pretty, just kind of floating there, and then you freeze frame them. And it's just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I read something where someone emailed the aquarium to ask if the jellyfish get tangled, and the answer is yes. The answer is yes, but also they realize that they're fellow jellyfish, so they don't zap each other. And apparently, the way that they get themselves untangled is that one of the keepers comes in and like swirls the water a certain way, like counterclockwise if it's going one direction, and then, or counterclockwise if it's going clockwise or something. Anyway, they just like swirl the water to help them like agitate the tide correctly. I don't know, it was fun. And what they just kind of detangle themselves from there. That's my jellyfish fun fact for the day. It's probably the only jellyfish fun fact I have, but it's good. It's a good one. Jellyfish Rat King, exactly. I think I said exactly that too when I was reading about it. A jellyfish king. It's a jellyfish king. I ordered, so we've got some friends' parents coming into town. I think they're in town by now. So I ordered some, because it's hard to order internationally down here. I ordered some better watercolor supplies. I'm working out of like a kid's palette and stuff, and I have been this whole time. So I should be getting those soon, and I'm very excited to do a test run. I'll have to see what I feel like would be the good picture. A good picture to kind of break that in a little bit. I need to get a better, not a better, just some more watercolor paper too. I don't want that image in my mind. Well, you just think about the little keeper coming in and swirling the water around the other way to help them out of that problem. That's how you fix that. The little keeper coming in and just being like, oh, you guys. What are you doing? You know? I feel like if you do that, that'll fix it. And just have them detangle themselves. The doctor's in town? No, they get here next month. This is friends' parents, not my friends' parents. Friends not from down here. Our friends' parents are down in town. There we go. Not us. They get here on your birthday week stuff. And I was like, do you want to throw a birthday party for the cat? And they were like, absolutely. So. Going out a little bit more right there and having a wiggle. But the import tax down here is a lot, so it's easier to buy things and ship it local and have people bring it down. Not easier, but cheaper. It's pretty tedious, but since the opportunity presented itself, I just kind of took it. Celebrate my birthday with them. Well, we'll do something. I don't know what we're gonna do yet. We don't have too many plans. The other day, friend of ours and we went museum hopping. finally, now that I had the time. So I might do that. I also found out that at least at one of my jobs I get PTO, and it was part-time, so that surprised me. So I'm gonna take some of those days and not feel quite so bad. It's still not as much as we need, but it's definitely more than we have, so that's cool. Did not expect to have, for as few hours as we worked, we did not expect to have PTO. And like our doctor said, oh, you will. But we didn't believe her. That's the American trauma, I assume. What I really need to do is figure out how to do the watercolor that like looks so careless. So I get way too lost in the weeds. And the details and the whatnots. PTO for part-time, yeah. And they have a thing down here where some of that PTO is time and a half. Now you can just cash it out if you wanted to work, but I want to keep working and stuff, but I was like, what do you mean? I have PTO for part-time, and you'll have part-time that pays time and a half. So, very cool. Now, I don't know how that time accrues. I need to figure out how that works. I don't know the labor laws down here. I know they're supposedly pretty decent. But we've got that, and then we've got... That's April. And then in May, we're planning a trip down to Buenos Aires with the friends of ours whose parents are in town right now. And that'll be one of that friend group's birthday weekends. Yeah! Well, not child. It's Faber-Castell, so it's not child inherently, but it's cheap. And I finally bought like a nice palette to try out and stuff. They're still expensive, but I'm not paying the 50% upcharge, right? So... yeah, it's just good old Faber-Castell. So not like baby child, but like still not particularly a decent mid. It's mid. That's what that is. But I gotta get this green out of this pad. I'm excited to see what I can do with better quality stuff. If there's see what the difference is. I'm excited to see what the difference is. Yeah, this is just like a little $10-12 palette that I got on a whim. Going, maybe I'll do something with this. Right? This is more that I keep getting pieces to a puzzle without seeing the whole picture. And it's like, well, I would love to know where this is going, but sure. Whoa. But yeah, quite excited to get it. Because I've been thinking about it for months, like just a better quality thing. So, we'll see how it goes. Has anybody been seeing stuff for Jupiter going direct? Anybody been feeling anything? Curious to know. Anybody get any epiphanies? Any They call them downloads sometimes. Not too keen on that. It makes me feel too computery. But anybody get any ideas? Any thoughts? Let's talk about vibes. Because I keep feeling like something's gonna change. And it shifted from, I don't know, eventually to now. But I don't know what or when. Other than something ends soon. March 12th. Okay. Very cool. How long are you gonna be gone, Sen? I'll try to give you space, but I've always wanted to go to like the UK and stuff, and I've never gotten the chance, so I might just be like, send me pictures. Send me pictures. Then what'd you do today? Send me pictures. Yeah. Feel something coming, I don't know what. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe. And that's kind of just across the board. And when I realized it wasn't just me, I felt a lot better about myself. Not long at all. Okay. Still. Send me pictures. I wanna go to London. Three days of Wilson. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I love that. I'm like, and don't let me bother you, but also I'm going to bother you. No, I always knew how you felt. So the test right now is don't get lost in the weeds. And I think I am failing.
That's hard. To not get lost in the weeds.
Oh, I'm just talking about this jellyfish painting.
Oh, okay.
Because I really like the watercolors that just look like so easy and so carefree and stuff, right? Are really simple. Like my phone background is a watercolor, right? And it's just so easy. It's so chill. Like, there's a lot of skill and stuff in there, but it's not like layers upon layers upon layers. It's just very easygoing. I hope I'll get some decent ones. Honestly, like, one of my favorite text posts talks about how they intentionally take the worst pictures because you can always find the best ones online, and he feels like the memory is better if you just take the worst ones. And I haven't implemented it yet, but that really sticks with me and I think about it. So if you take terrible ones, that's fine. That just gives it some vibes, right? I don't know, don't beat yourself up if it's not like professional grade photos of things that you did in London. Like someone like one of their pictures was like just a picture of the Eiffel Tower or something like that, and it's just like blurry and way too zoomed in, and it's very funny. But it makes the memory stick better, and you can find the nice pictures already done online, so I do really need to try that sometime. It's very funny. Yeah, exactly. It's good. It's very fun. But then it's like I want to show people what I did too, right? So there's a bit of that kind of thing. But I need to make them good so that people can see that I was actually there. No. You can see the nice pictures. I think one of the example pictures was like of Mount Rushmore and like it was zoomed in on George Washington's nose or something too. Also excellent. Excellent. A whole photo shoot of a pigeon and not one red bus exactly. Or if it's the red bus, it's just the wheel or something. And like a flash of the fender. I'm really trying to like deprogram some of this perfectionism of mine. I feel like I made a lot of progress, honestly. Is he up to something?
No, I was trying to see if I could see the turtle.
Oh, yeah. We got turtle neighbors downstairs. Tortoise. They're big and a delight. And sometimes they set them out on the patio and we just get to watch the turtles. Perfectionism ruined Instagram. Yeah. I don't think we've really talked about it much, but my Instagram is very deliberately not perfect, just to kind of like bring back some of that kind of vibe. I don't think it'll get anywhere unless something happens as far as morality related things, but it's very deliberately like just normal pictures that I take of a picture with my phone camera, and I'm like, this thing I did, and it's not perfect, it's not crisp, it's not, no. Should I do better if I'm trying to get commissions? Probably. But I assume eventually for most of these things, the right crowd will find me at some point. Not just that you'll get a nice version of it, I promise. It will not be this version. This is just what I'm publishing because everything is too perfect and I don't feel like being that perfect. A neighbor does have turtle babies. They are big tortoises, like surprisingly large. But we were wondering what Toulouse was looking at one day, and we looked down, and they had let their two tortoises just kind of wander around on their little patio. And we're just like, now every morning we're just looking down, like, are the turtles out? Can we see your turtles? Can we show us your turtles? Can we see your turtles? Can I give it a leaf? If you let me give your turtle a leaf, please. Oh, someone's drilling. That's alright, we're done talking about the stars for now, so we'll just kinda... We'll see. There's some old webcomic that was like talking about how sometimes boys will be boys is kind of an endearing term when they're just actually just being weird little guys. And there was a gal who was the guys were all hanging out of the window like, show us the dog, and she holds the dog up and they're just cheering. That's kind of how I feel about these turtles. Show us the turtles. Keep some cabbage handy. Maybe once I speak Spanish better. For now, we might just look at them lovingly from a distance. Yeah, I don't know them. I think they're in a different building, but either they are freshly moved down from somewhere in the States, or they are staying at like an Airbnb or something. I don't know what it is. But yeah, there's some folks who speak English in the vicinity, and it is extremely jarring because I have forgotten how to tune out English-speaking people. So when I hear them having conversations, I get very confused, and I really struggle tuning it out now. I remember trying to steal one as a child. How'd that go? I always wanted turtles. I almost had a chance, but it didn't quite work out. I can't remember. I was little. I think it was that they were already wild and that just felt mean. But it was in that kind of area where that would have been a thing that would happen. I was just like, well... Grandma said, don't you think that seems a little cruel? I went, you're right. Not successful. Oh, man. Darn. That's a bummer. If I can get this color to work out. It's something like this. Yeah. Finished talking about the stars early today. Yep. But they were so cute though. Little turtles. Friends. Now the real test becomes how... And maybe we're just practicing my letting go of things. See how chill I can let myself be about not getting lost in the weeds of these tendrils. time we went away, I put them in our suitcase. Very good. They're so cute. I love turtles. I love turtles. I love tortoises. They're just sweet things. Have you seen those faces? Angels, all of them. Even the ones that bite. Whatever it is, if they bit me, I probably deserve it. Angels and saints, every turtle. But I'm kind of just that gal that went viral, like one of the first viral YouTube things, the can't hug every cat. I'm just kind of that way about every creature. I just want to hug everything. Huge Florida soft back here. I think you were showing us pictures of that when you were there. Yeah. My image still going? Are we still? Can you still see what I'm doing? It doesn't. It's not showing on OBS. Have I frozen? Because I've got some of the main tendrily bits on this boy, so let me know. Not stealing, providing a home. An unrequested home is what it sounds like. Does it look like I've stopped painting? Because I still am. Are we having a Mercury during a retrograde? It was deserved, yep. And at that point, you just say thank you. No, I didn't put the brush down. I'm still going. Let me go get Lady Lapine and see if there's something. Hold on, I'll be right back. Here she comes. It looks like I stopped. Yep, Lady Lapine is on the way.
It's easy. So when this happens, you go down to video capture device, which is a very long way to say camera. Deactivate.
Okay.
Activate. Well,
I didn't touch anything today, I swear.
I guess it's Mercury.
I'm probably.
That's so strange.
Not a self-inflicted Mercury this time, at least it just stopped.
Light's not on.
We're figuring it out.
We're not.
we go. No better. Okay. No, I didn't put the camera down, I promise. Here I am. There we are. That's where we're at. Fixed it. We all say thank you, Lady Lapine, because I'm not the one to be fixing it. Yay! It was only a little bit confusing. So. That's right. Someone is just slamming the door in the background. Anyway, where were we? It's much bluer. I am good at hardware. I am not always good at software. Me and software are a little bit touch and go. So if it's like you need to plug this thing into here, then usually I can do it. But when it comes to this thing, I'm getting this thing happening for this frequency. I just kind of gave up after a while. So I keep up with what chord goes where very easily, so, but I don't know what a software program is up to most of the time. But she enjoys software programs, so. And not cable management, so our strengths and our weaknesses work well together. I remember what cable does what thing. This is all just more or less blue. It's just got little buddy tendrils in there. Let's see, now that it's not a second to dry, we've got this a little bit of brown. It's not going to be dark enough. We'll find out, won't we? Wow. There we go. Yeah, that's not too bad. Two of these just pulling straight across. One just pulling back down here. And here pulling here. I really wish they would quit slamming whatever they're doing. This one's just kind of off doing its own thing. And it catches and loops. And then it goes with the crowd. Jellies. Yeah. That's alright. I would assume they're actually spicy jellies. But yes. One Glorbo Florbo coming right up. Well, several, actually. Oh, you can hear it too? I'm sorry. It's really not quite that loud, it's just obnoxious. I don't know what's going on. PC process intuitive crap. Yeah. I tried. There's something about instructions if they are delivered incorrectly to me and I can't like touch it. That just is like, well, we're not gonna learn this. It's extremely frustrating, but it's just kind of something that I've had to let myself have and be okay with. Is that an excuse? No. I do need to do it more, but... yeah, I guess so. Hang on 1 second, let me check on something. Here I am. Okay. Yeah, I like working from home most of the time, but yeah, there are some things I'm just like, good gosh. When I say most of the time, I mean like 98% of the time. I wouldn't trade it for the world, but sometimes I'm like, hello? I am working. Coded a picture. That's cool. I don't know, that sounds pretty neat to me. Like, I'm sure you're like, ah, look at me being old, but I'm just like, that's neat though. That's a cool trick. It's cool information to know. Honestly, that's kind of what the tendril looks like back here, so I'm just gonna kind of roll with that. And I'm gonna be like, oh no, the watercolor, the colors are bleeding. I painted it too fast, but right now I'm just like, actually. I really need someone to just figure out what's going on with that wind in the background. Pretty please. And I can't close the door. The cat's outside on the porch right now. It was so pixelated. Yeah. It just sounds like a really cool class nowadays. He's just being so good, I don't want to take the door away from him. You know? He's being fine. It's whoever's banging the cabinets around that ain't. I was just standing there. No. I promised I didn't tell him to leave. No, I know, I heard you. Yeah, the wind slams a bunch of doors and stuff here, so I assume that someone's got something open and it just keeps bonking around like a window or something, because that's about the sound that our window makes if I don't lock it into place. But it doesn't make it any less pleasant. I'm sure it's not someone just trying to be a jerk or anything like that, but yeah, the wind, it's not bad right now, but if it catches it at the right angle, right, it can be a little bit rough. But we got the door more or less shut now, so hopefully it gets at least a little bit better. It was pretty blustery yesterday. And it took us a while to figure out where things were when we first got into this place, as far as like ways to keep the wind from absolutely just destroying everything in the house. Because the houses here, like, they breathe really well. Like, they're very well aerated for the summertime, right? Like, it gets pretty warm. It makes a lot of sense. But there are times that it's just like the wind catches it just right, because there's a decent amount of wind here because it's fairly flat. And there's just times that the wind catches it just right, and it's like, well, this slamming everything. It makes it sound like, you know, like there's a big huge fight going on or something. You know, just the big door slams. Yeah, it gets fairly windy. Not right now, but there's pretty strong windstorms. Right now, I think it's just that someone left their window open and forgot to latch it, so it's banging around. But yeah, it gets windy enough that, like, you go to the beach, you see kite surfers. It's a lot of fun to watch them. So, like, it's always on the really bad days, like the windy days. You'll see a good, in season, you'll see a good, I've seen upwards of 15 people, I think, just kite surfing. And it's really fun to watch them, like, just the wind picking them up and hoisting them in, like, a good 10, 15 feet up above the water before they come back down. Poltergeist. I don't think it's a poltergeist. I think it's just the wind. Like, if this was a new precedent, then maybe, yeah, it could be a poltergeist, but it's so run-of-the-mill. Better eat lots of food, not swept away. I don't think I gotta worry about that. Maybe one of these days, but today is not that day. Another friend right up here. Happy to talk about whatever. Don't get bored on my behalf. Peeking. Beef tips has to be good. I'm glad it worked out. Yeah, it tasted right, so I put it in the rotation now and again. Just gonna let you dry for a minute before I start adding anything there. And then we got... This is more or less blue, but kind of lightish. I have to make a few swaps because I can't find all of those types of cheeses here. Or all of the stuff here, but it's good enough that I can get pretty close. I never... Still to this day do not add the mushrooms. What? Right, ready for meat. Yeah, I don't know which cut they used. I think the last time I used just what I had laying around. But if you like actually marinate it like you're marinating a piece of steak or something, that should help. If it was like chewy or anything like that. So what I've started doing when I make it now is I like marinate it like it's a normal steak, and then I chop it up into the tips and whatnot. I think I tried using like a cut that they were going to use for like a stew meat, and it just didn't work because you have to cook it too fast, right? But if you find it just a cheap steak cut, well, relatively cheap, and like marinate it correctly for the day before or something like that, it should be good. It should work out fine. Got it overdone. Yeah, that's really easy. It took me a while. A couple of tries. Yeah, I ended up with some pretty chewy meat the first time too. But yeah, just if you find one of the marinades with like something as a brine, that should help. Wasn't tough? Oh, that's good. Yeah. I gave myself a chewing exercise the first time I made it. And I went, well, I guess I gotta marinate it after all. Because at first I was like, oh, there's enough flavor, it'll be fine. No, it was not fine. Like the flavor, it was fine. But... The rain is, you know, it actually rained the other day when I was like, it's not going to rain. It actually did for a little while. I was pleased. But we're good. At least over here. It's still, well, it was sunny this morning, but I think it's gotten overcast again because we are in the middle of the season change, right? But small amount of Dales. Okay, Dales would work. My steak marinades a lot, actually, but I got thunder yesterday night. Oh man, that's still kind of nice though. The snow is no longer. Oh, is it finally melted for you? Yeah, we're in the stormy. It's getting to be fall time. Kind of thing. It's still warm enough, but it's you can tell it's cooling off a bit. Which I, as a sweet summer child, I'm not super keen on, but Miss May can't handle the heat, so it's nice. Feel severely outnumbered, but I do prefer warm weather. Little black rain cloud. And everyone knows that a rain cloud never eats honey. Stretch. Jellyfish stretch. There we go. This winter was a bit much. Yeah. No, I like heat. I do pretty well. I get the winter blues very easily. So I do prefer the summer, just overall. But I am sorely outnumbered in this household. The long-haired cat and Lady Lapine. And I've just kind of noticed in general that I'm kind of sorely outnumbered, which is weird to me because I feel like, I don't know, just upbringing wise, summertime is when you go take vacations and you go do things. And I'm like, why don't people like it? I don't understand. But few days of hard cruise, also less exceed. Yeah, but I don't know, with the sun coming back, like I feel like easier to be not so lazy. Something you wake up from hibernation, right? Like you're supposed to be lethargic in the winter, and then it's not quite so pronounced in the summertime. Well, the spring, the summertime hibernation makes sense too for the heat, right? Siesta culture. But then spring and fall and what have you, that's the go get it done time. Up plants, yeah. I know you prefer warmer weather stuff. I do come by it honestly, I realize that. But just in practice I do feel quite outnumbered. I lived for 2 years in a really cold area, and I didn't find out how to have fun in the snow until I was about to leave. I was a little upset. If I had learned earlier, then perhaps it would have been a different story, but... And if I have nowhere to be or not anything in particular to do, the colder weather's fine. That's when I have things to do. People expect me to still operate, and I'm just like, but it's cold out. It's time for it's nap time. It's nap time, guys. Guys, this weather is nap time weather. Thank you. You mean I still have to work and earn a paycheck in this weather? Have you looked outside? Never did build those snowmen. No, but my friends at the time did show me how to go sledding and stuff. It was fun once I figured it out, but then I left like 3 weeks later. So, well. How are we feeling about jellies so far? Jelly check. Used to go skiing, but it wasn't that enjoyable, to be honest. I did 1 day of cross-country skiing on a whim. It was for a class of mine. This was in, like, I think it would be your equivalent to secondary school, high school. Right? I don't know. But anyway, I did like a little bit of cross-country skiing for a gym class I had. And it was a lot of fun. I liked it. But it was the one time I did it, and then I never did it again. And then my friends took me sledding. And I had a really good time, and then I had to leave 3 weeks later. I didn't have to leave, but I chose to leave, right? Like, I had already planned it all out and set it up and everything. And I'm just like, well, it could have been this fun the whole time? Really? You like that they're orange. Very good. I'm glad. I had to get the fire involved, right? Marian back there said fire, so I had to think of fire too, so. Orange jellies. I don't think she's here anymore because she tends to pop in and out, but I will show them to her later and be like, is this close enough to fire? And then she'll be like, they're jellyfish then. So I know. But they're orange. Surprised to go skiing at that size engine. Well, that's fair. I get the apprehension. What I really need to do is figure out people in watercolor. That's a whole nother set of worms. Says I've got 7 people watching now. Well, 6 now, but feel free to chime in. Say hello. Glad to have you here. Like the video. Subscribe if you need to. I'm here on Sundays. Well, I'm always here in the chat usually. And then Miss May runs the show the other days. You can find me on chat. Tomorrow we have her art stream. And then tarot. I'm skiing at the very good. I'm here on Sundays. We talk about astrology for as long as we need to, and then I start to paint. And then after we talk about astrology, we paint a while. It helps me keep stuff up on my Instagram. Because I don't always do it on my own. Not particularly keen on how this piece, the inside of him, shaped up, but that's okay. We're working on not caring too much. Took a kid and a friend in the water park, not getting any of the rides. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I love water slides. It was fine. That's what that was. It was fun. I do love a water park. Which is funny because I don't like roller coasters, and you would think that I would, given the fact that I love water slides so much. But I don't. And then, on the flip side, Lady Lapine loves a good roller coaster, but does not like water slides. That's because it was fun, Steph. Lady Lapine is very particular about which roller coasters she likes, but she does like roller coasters, and I simply do not. I suppose they hurt if your bones as well. Yes. I simply do not like roller coasters. I think it's the friction of being latched into the track, and I always get scared that it's going to snap back and something's going to happen. But with water slides, it's just a free fall. I already know I'm slipping, so like something about that, like I don't have to anticipate falling, right? Because I'm in a free fall. I don't have to feel that grind and get scared. Roller coasters are not natural. Falling down a water slide is. At this point in my life, I'd be willing to try one again, but I can't make any promises that I'd enjoy it. Maybe not like a hardcore one. And it's really funny because, like, I didn't realize that there was a sense of discernment about what roller coasters, like what you prefer and what you don't prefer. So, Lady Lapine would just walk me through all of her preferences and all of the factors she thinks of when she's considering getting on a roller coaster. I'm like, that's so... I thought you just got on and you rode. I thought you just liked roller coasters, like TM trademark roller coasters, every single one of them. No, apparently not. People have preferences for like what sensations they're looking for when they're getting onto a roller coaster. And I'm sure there are some that just like across the board like roller coasters, right? But she and the other roller coaster friend that we have, very particular. Waterfall or something, yes. I'll ever get this slide that had the gap in it. I don't remember which one that is. Are we talking about when we were up north? Don't remember. I don't remember, and it's something like I had a gap to jump, I'm going to assume that my answer is no. I'm going to assume that it was too much. Or the line was too long or something. But yeah, for the gear feeling on the roller coasters, I really don't like a lot of amusement park rides for that reason. It just feels scary. Not a solid slide, it was like jumping a dry spot. I don't remember. That was a long time ago. If we didn't, I remember that day was really busy and we were just waiting on all the lines and stuff. So that might have just had too long of a line to go through. It was quite crowded that day, if I remember. Roller coaster. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, it's just that false feeling that it's not, I don't know, it's forced, it's man-made, it's not just a slippy slide. I wonder even if I would even still enjoy water slides the way that I used to. I've noticed the older I get, the more sensitive my internal calibrations get, I guess, is the way that I would put it. Like, if I get on a swing and actively swing for a while, I get nauseated nowadays. Part of it I know is I just don't do it often. But I was sad when I realized that, and now I'm like a little bit gun shy about going on a swing. Coupons for $10 off. Ticket. Very good. We love a deal. Yeah, you do it too, son? Yeah, I'm a little bit sad about that because I really like swings. Again, more of the natural feeling, less man-made vibes, right? This one goes this way, wraps around. This one goes up and over. This one's doing this. Too much perspective. Yeah. Yeah. I can definitely see that. I used to babysit a kid. I say kid, he was like 12 at the time. But he used to like to play on my gaming PC that I had. And I had a headset, because I really like rhythm games, so I had Beat Saber. And he could play the games that have the perspective switch in person, like in the headset and stuff, right? And that just sends me, and even just watching it will mess me up after a while. But he's just playing it and doing fine with all the perspective changes in a game, in a world with the headset on, and I'm like, man. I get how my parents felt now when I started playing video games, and even just the regular perspective switches were too much. Because, you know, when you're little, you're like, why is that bothering you? I don't get it. And now it's like, oh, I see. But I know I could theoretically build a tolerance, but it seems silly to me to have to do that just to play a game. Have to adjust to being nauseated all the time. Mm-hmm. I find if you wait long enough for things, it usually goes on sale. I tend to just lay and wait until the right moment. I just sit straight and have a window open. Wow. Yeah. I don't know how far along. It's been a while since I've done anything like that. I wonder how badly I've devolved since then. See, I feel like for water slides, those stuff, like that would be something that I forced myself back into, just because I remember how much fun they are. Right? So I'd just be like, screw it. I'm here to have a good time. But for like video games and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just for the nostalgia's sake of it, I feel like I would be very impatient with myself. For better or for worse. Would it be to my detriment? Oh, it's entirely probable. But Oh, thank you. Jellyfish. I'll put it up on my Instagram later or something. It's a fun little practice and stuff that I don't normally do. And grazing in the fields. There you go. You better go graze in the fields and know when to run. And know when not to run. Jellyfish. And it's fun because tentacles are kind of wobbly anyway, so I don't have to sweat it. You mean like pretending to be a horse, or like riding a horse and getting up to a gallop? Because yes, I used to pretend to gallop all the time. I think every now and again, maybe not all the time, that might be a stretch. But I have in fact pretended to gallop. And then I think the fastest I ever got on a horse was a canter. Yeah, I would do that. Excuse me. There's a little cluster of jellyfish here, but we're coming at time. I don't know if I want to do them. How does that feel? Let me look at the screen. We just imagine it's blue. Now what I want to do is treat myself, right? Because in my head, all of these jellyfish are upside down, right? So here we go. Here we go. Here's the fun time. Are we ready? If we flip it up right. That's kind of fun. What do you think? Need that kind of energy back? Well, you know what? If you need that kind of energy back, if you need some whimsy, you know how you get it. Sen, you can be the change. I spent 2 hours painting jellyfish today. What will you do, whimsical? Yeah, I don't want to add this little cluster in. That could be sun. What could be sun? Fun. That could be fun. That was a typo. Okay. I put it together. Did you mean you wanted me to literally add a sun here? Up in here? I guess, well, it's only watercolor. I can go back and do shit, but... I'm just figuring if I wanted to keep it to the painting is during stream and then I am done, which would be nice, right? And I'm just like, well, that's fine. This feels pretty good. Oh, sunlight, maybe. I have to factor in light sources, and that's a lot of work. At least on the Monterey Bay Aquarium. Yeah, the Monterey Bay Aquarium, it's just kind of all consistently the same color. But now I'm just kind of free-forming it for like final touches and stuff. The real kick in the head is going to be when I open back up and see where they're at live, the jellyfish, and realize they're exactly where I wanted them to be originally. But that'll be fine. That's fine. They're just jellyfish. They're just doing their best. It's not a big deal. Lovely models. They do look happy. Do you think that I have incorporated all of the tasks? We had Glorbo Florbo. We had Fire. We had March Fish, and then Calcifer Jellies. Did we do it? Do we think that we got everything? Did we get everything? Was the task failed successfully? Yes. Yes, we did. Okay. Very good. Jellyfish. Oh, that'll give me something to put on my Instagram today. Hooray! Very exciting, honestly. I really need to start putting more up. I just need to go dig through a bunch of old stuff. And I realized on Tuesday, I got really mad on Tuesday because I was like, what do you mean? I don't have anything to do. Why do I have so much to do? Forgetting after I lost one job that I've basically been working 3. And losing one does not mean... That does not mean that things will get quiet. I doubt those words would come to mind to a stranger when seeing this, but it does fit. Yeah, on the little Instagram thing, I might explain it, maybe, if they're lucky. Or they might just get some cool jellyfish. I don't know. Maybe they'll just get some cool jellyfish and they'll like it. We don't have to explain our reasons. We can just... Look at this thing I made. I just made it. Nap time? I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do today. I know that I've had too much to do this week, so I'm definitely not going to, like, try to do anything. I know that I need to file my taxes this week. I'm going to see an easy little medical thing. I've got English classes to teach. I've been working on my Spanish. I don't know. But a nap time, it doesn't feel like nap time right now, so maybe not. Maybe it'll feel like nap time later. I have old stuff. That's too old. We're not quite down. I'm not quite established enough to take the trips down memory lane like that yet. I need people who would be interested in taking those trips down memory lane first. But the art itself is going okay. Instagram is Instagram, so it's really, honestly, a garbage place to put art. But it is a good way to start some kind of portfolio that I can give to people. But I think I might be about to get a commission for like 5 or 6 different pet portraits from somebody. So that's cool. And if y'all know anybody who wants some nice watercolor art, you can send them my way. I know that May is open for digital commissions too. Easy medical thing. Booked and busy, I see, is not. I just have to go see about getting a medication. That's been a bit of a trip and a half to get a hold of, but this is the last step, and hopefully I'll be able to get it. Busy bee. I wish I wasn't. But yeah, kinda. At some point in all of that, I need to squeeze in some writing. Very good. Those are some jellyfish, alright. Keep an eye on that. What are we keeping an eye on? That was, I've breathed since then, I forgot. What? Da 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 da. Jellies. And it's noon. It's 1. Oh, right. Y'all sprang forward. I forgot. Happy daylight savings time. Yeah, we're not gonna change our schedule down here. Oh, yeah. Sounds good. Thank you, dear. We're not gonna change our schedule for that. It's too much work to accommodate. May's about to overhaul everything anyway. So, thank you. Thank you. It'll be good. I'll post it in a little bit on Instagram. That was fun. I'll have to... We'll play the prompt game more often. It gets me to draw more than just people. So. Alrighty, my dears. I will be around. I need to get notes written up for the week for the astrology stuff. I will do that today or tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Safe travels when you get going, son. But I'm sure I'll talk to you before you leave. So we'll do the safe travels later. Safe packing, happy packing. I don't know. Figure it out. You can do it. I trust you. I will catch y'all later. I'm around if you need me. And mind the stars. Ask if you have any questions. Okie dokie. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.